Come on in and take a seat, everybody. We're going to start momentarily. Make sure that you've got a candle with you. There's candles at the back of each side. Come on in. Please come on in and take your seats. Come on in and take your seats so we can get started. Come on in and take your seats. Jane. Go ahead and take your seats and make sure you've got a candle with you for the end of the ceremony today. There's some back at the doors. At each entrance, there are little candles, and we're going to be using those later on today. If you need a candle, just raise your hand, and some of the ushers will bring one to you if you need a candle to light at the end of the ceremony. Okay, I think we're ready to begin. It's 1 o'clock. Being here, we're going to begin the good goodbye celebration, the honoring of our beloved Shipley. Come on in the back. It's all family here. Just come on in. Make sure you've got a candle for the closing ceremony that we're going to do with Shipley. And if you don't have one, just raise your hand. We've got some ushers here that'll help you out. All right, everybody coming on in. It's lovely to see so many of you here to honor Shipley. The program that we'll be going through today is in the bulletin that you were handed this morning for church, and it's a loose interpretation of what's going to happen today. We'll see how it goes from there. There's a few things in there that aren't happening, and there's a few things that aren't in there that are happening, and, it's just all a good dance. All right? So wasn't that an amazing service this morning? Holy cow. All right, give it up. How many of you cried during that thing? I know. Thank you. I see you. I feel your pain. Thank you. It's great. Yeah, I know. I started crying on Friday. I was texting Shipley yesterday, and I was like, I'm crying. She's like, you're crying too. I'm crying. What are we going to do? It's like, oh, we'll just cry together. Here we are. We've been planning for this day for a long time, haven't we? My name is Jackie Woodside. I am honored to be the board president here at Unity on the River. I've served in this and various capacities in this organization since 2004, and in many ways have been the left arm. Yes, that's what I say too. Yes! Do that again. She got a little shy. That's what happens when we come out of our shell, doesn't it? Just get a little shy. So we are here today to honor a woman that has touched and molded all of our lives. We obviously wouldn't spend time together on a Sunday afternoon otherwise. We've been touched and molded by the ministry that Shipley has crafted and created. She's created this ministry very much in the image and in the likeness of her own intimate, deep, profound relationship with God and with Spirit. And we've all been touched by that. She has brought the elements from her own spiritual life into creating this ministry. And there's the elements that she's brought into this. We now live and breathe and take for granted so much that it's just part of our culture here. But it really has been very intentionally designed by who Shipley is and the way that she walks with God. And those three elements that I think about that Shipley has molded this ministry around are, first of all, celebration, awakening, and transformation of consciousness. Now, we just hear those words and we think those words and we live that way because it's just part of what Shipley is creating here and what we've all become together. But it is a unique and profound gift in this ministry. Shipley has created celebration services with an undeniable, unmatched, uncanny ability to blend spoken word with musical expression. And we've celebrated together for so many years through music, through her talks, and her humor. The awakening piece, Shipley has brought in week after week after week so many vast and different spiritual traditions. Her depth and breadth of understanding of spirituality and spiritual traditions is extraordinary. I will never, ever tire of hearing that woman recite the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic. I will never tire of hearing her chant yet again, Te, Te, Malkuta, Te, Te, Malkuta, Te, Te, Malkuta. Or of her screaming, Holy Spirit, come, Holy Spirit, come. And of course, our favorite, yes! Love that kid. Holy Spirit, come, baby. Or, of course, our favorite spiritual practice that she brought forth from the Hawaiian tradition, our practice of healing and forgiveness of Ho'oponopono. Right? So the awakening has come from all of the different spiritual traditions that Shipley has brought together. And then lastly, transformation of consciousness. What Shipley does so profoundly well is take these really intense spiritual principles and makes them stupidly practical for the application of our daily lives, right? And we come here week after week after week, and we hear these messages, and as we take these messages and then go out and apply them to the living of our lives, we together have transformed. Yeah. So my brothers and sisters at Unity on the River, please join me in welcoming the Reverend Mary Shipley Allenson. So what I say about Shipley is that she is going out on the top of her game. You know, they say that in sports. She is going out at the top of her game. She's vibrant, she's energetic, she's wise, she's talented, and she's beautiful. So we have an array of people that are going to be coming up. Yay! God, I hope she stays this whole day. God, from the breath of God right to my heart, little one. So we're going to be celebrating Shipley in various ways today, all screaming, yay, together, and with various people from the 20 years that Shipley has been in ministry. Please welcome with me our founding music director, Curtis Haynes.
Two of my kids got married in the last 2 years, and you anticipate, and then it's wedding day, and you go, wow, this is the day it happened, you know, and it feels different. And tomorrow feels different too, but couldn't not be here. 20 years ago, I promise, you know, long before I knew you. In a way, it's a story. You know, a lot of people here believe that two souls often intersect throughout time, throughout place, to materialize and do something. And that's the only way I can explain how this classy Philadelphia lady and a Bakersfield honky-tonk piano player somehow, you know, it was a cool, we put it together, didn't we? Here's my fantasy. Take this in. Okay, take this in. The other alternative universe, one of them, Shipley and I are riding out on horseback into the sunset together. My horse is named Moses. I don't know what yours is named. And you've got the English saddle, and I've got the Western saddle. And you've got all those clothes on with the creases and the boots that come up here and that helmet thing. I've got the cowboy hat on. My saddlebags are full of blackjack chewing gum. Lots of it on both sides. I haven't chewed gum since Shipley told me it was stupid looking a long time ago. And that was a hard habit to break. It's why I took up smoking. She said it had something to do with like just unconsciously munching, you know? And so that's a unity idea. It's not just some Philadelphia snob thing, right? Oh, we have company. I'm sorry. This is where she got the good looks, ladies and gentlemen, right here. So I tried chewing gum consciously. It just doesn't work. You know, it's not the point. And we're listening to Merle Haggard. Silver Wings. Yep, that's it. We both know that deep down, way down under all this, it's all Merle Haggard, really. I had a great-grandfather who rode Western saddle. And when it's time for me to be resolute, I think of my great-grandfather, 1910, following the wheat harvest from the south on up into Canada. When it's time to be adventurous, I think of my grandfather, 1933, hopping freight trains. When it's time for me to be tender, I think of my mother back in 1955. And when it's time to be wise, I think of my grandmother in 1965. When it's time to hit a home run, I think of my son in 1996. When it's time to be courageous, I think of 1997 and you. Anytime I need to be courageous, you're the greatest example of courage I've ever been able to witness and just witness. And we've all told the story about those 5x7 cards. Because I was this far away from you, you know. And you had this habit at one time of, if the transition wasn't quite working, you go, well, okay, so that was important. It was your filler. So it wasn't only courage that you were able to step out and begin with imperfection in order to go for the higher. And I needed to see that those 10 years that I was here in that time of my life. But the courage is not just about learning how to be a rock star, which you have become. I know that wasn't your intention, but that's what I mean. You also had the courage, you know, to give me a microphone and say things while you were, you know, now and then when I felt like it, I could say things. And I really thought that was my role, you know, is to keep things in perspective. Yeah. And when I'm like really sick and tired and don't feel like getting on Facebook anymore, I remember one of the things that I really rolled my eyes at, and I may have even slapped the top of the piano, but you were talking to something about fierceness and whatnot, and you said it was like a saber-toothed tiger. That's brilliant. The real courage, though, was that worship team. And Shipley was willing to invite me into a very close circle that I didn't really know. I got to know your circle by being invited in. Paula, Michelle, Carol, just 5 of us at the beginning, yeah. And Shipley was willing to have a circle of people that could be honest with you. No. I don't remember being too honest. Nothing I say, but that's what I saw. And that really holds. And that's how the music was born. That and this love of evangelical stuff that you do. We went to that church in Maine that time, remember? That was awesome. Yeah, that was great. That's it. It's courage, and you've invited me in, and I've got nothing but gratitude, or I've got everything, which is gratitude. And Thank you. Thank you very much. All right? And we're going to be in this riding off someday. I love you, Coco.
I love you. I have to say something else to him. Hey, Curtis, I got a friend in California. And that'll be you. Yeah. I'll meet you there.
Thank you, Curtis. That's great. Also with us today, Eileen Gore, Reverend Eileen Gore, who has been with Shipley for many, many years since they were in ministry together, or not in ministerial school together, correct? No? You'll talk about that. So Eileen was looking forward to coming. She came in and surprised Shipley this weekend and is going to reflect on Shipley's impact on the movement and in her life. So thank you. Welcome.
It's actually kind of funny. She's got two friends in California. Yeah. Shipley and I were in a different kind of ministerial school together than you might think of. I did actually go to Unity Village and go to ministerial school because I thought that's what you were supposed to do. And Shipley didn't do that. Shipley had, spirit move her. And so the way we met was at a Eastern Region conference. The larger association is divided up into regions, and we were at an Eastern Region conference, and somehow came up with, I'm starting church, you're starting church. It's really scary, isn't it? Do you have any idea what you're doing? I have no idea what I'm doing, but we can't tell them. So what do we have to do? We have to tell each other. And so I maybe start a little bit selfishly that the most important part about Shipley's impact on the Unity movement was to be my buddy. Yeah, because both of us did pretty amazing things in Unity. I mean, she did this. She grew an amazing community. She provided you, as has already been said, and I, you give a minister a microphone, and I am not going to prove that one out today. I'm going to be very brief. But you know a lot about what she brought together, and that was known in the Unity movement, and it was watched in the Unity movement. Can that work? And the other thing that Shipley and I were both very clear about was the professional music. Now, her professional music was big, as you know. My professional music was a lot quieter. And some of you know Ogun Holder. Yeah. That's my baby. Yeah, that's one of the kids that came out of my church and turned into a minister. And when Ogun was with me, he did what Curtis did for Shipley. He wrote music. Whatever I was talking about, Ogun wrote music for. And so knowing that she was doing that and knowing that I could do that was huge for me, and I think therefore huge for the Unity movement, because a lot of people in various ways heard about that happening, and I think became a little more free in their own willingness to get rid of those dad-burn hymnals and move on into a very different experience. And then some other really significant things that probably some of you know, but perhaps all of you don't know, is Shipley mentoring another person in the field licensing program, because it's huge to make that step, and nobody knows it better than someone who's done it. So that's a very important thing, and many people are grateful for that. And also the fact that you piloted transformational experience. I was going to thriving, and I knew that wasn't the right one. Was also huge. It was a very important thing for that program to work. And when I heard that Shipley was going to be one of the churches that piloted, what I knew was that it was going to work, because she doesn't do anything that she doesn't do all out, right? Nothing. And so I thought, great, because I was on the board at the time that this whole experience was created on the greater board of the Association of Unity Churches at the time. That's what it was. And we weren't sure. We weren't sure if churches were going to embrace it, if people were really going to take it, if you will, seriously, so that we could create something, so something could be created that would really go on to serve churches in an amazing way. And because she said yes to that, I knew it was going to be a very powerful and very meaningful experience. And it is, and has gone on to do that. So all of those things are wonderful, and I'll go back to where I started. The most important thing to me, and I think to a large impact in the Unity movement, is who she is, person to person. Someone you can love, you can be apart from for literally years we have been, and come back together like it was yesterday. So she's a gift, and I bless all of you. And I know that what she told you this morning you're going to do, because I had to tell my church that 6 years ago, and it does go on. And if it doesn't, that's going to be the disappointment. So don't let her be disappointed.
Just one thing. Eileen, how many ministers have come out of your church? 4? 6. She's birthed 6 ministers out of that church.
That's amazing.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And how many do you have on the licensed teacher track or ministerial track right now?
Do we?
Yeah.
Amy? How many do we have on the licensed
Yep. And how many speakers and teachers in the Unity movement have you birthed? Yeah. Yeah, Leslie Smith, Denise D. Simone, myself,
you,
and
others.
There's
Yeah,
lots of people who've grown up spiritually being here in this church.
great.
And now we're going to take a few minutes to have a retrospective to hear more about that.
Shipley and Unity on the River.
I wanted to thank you for creating the place that feels right.
She's just created a beautiful community.
The most loving and comfortable place for me and for so many others.
You created this, and now you're stepping away and you're letting your little children now take over and go from here.
And thank you for creating Unity on the River.
There is a candle in every soul, some brightly burning, some dark and cold. There is a spirit who brings a fire, ignites the candle, and makes us whole. So carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle, go light your world. Take your candle, go light your world.
She's a friend.
She's a dear friend.
She's a mentor. She's my minister. She inspires me.
An inspiration.
Greatest teacher, mentor, compassionate healer, an extraordinary teacher.
A teacher's teacher.
Helped me to grow and learn and be inspiring. You've taught me balance, Slinky.
You gave me the space for my God self to shine through.
The first day I came in, I sat down, it was home.
But there was something drawing me here, and it was you and the spiritual message you were giving me.
The minute I walked into this place, I was blown away by everything about the center,
but mostly I was just taken aback by you, by the sincerity of your message, by the expansiveness of the feeling, the emotion that you were communicating to all of us. To a certain extent, I'd have to say I was kind of mesmerized.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
But the thing I love about Shipley is she's so real.
You make it real.
You're authentic, and you just let yourself get up there and just let the Spirit move through you.
And the way that you do it is not through head knowledge, even though you speak of that, but it is through your vulnerability and telling your stories.
You share your ongoing struggles with mastering this material. That is such a great gift from a spiritual leader.
And if you should make a mistake, you laugh and proceed to wow us.
Just quintessentially you. You have just been such a clear channel, and so open and loving, and so courageous. That's the other thing. So courageous. Thank you for being you, Shipley.
The other thing I really love about you is that you're really beautiful and you're really smart. And it was really fun to combine like quantum science together and get like really talking about all the esoteric, heady stuff. And be, you know, working our divine feminine and girly together too.
When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad that miracles don't happen still. But now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick is anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one.
My beloved Shipley, I honor you. I love you madly.
I look up to her, and through her wisdom, she's made me a better person.
You come to me in my dreams, so I know you'll never go away.
Her message always touches my heart.
I haven't known Shipley too long, but in the short time that I've known her, she's just such a wonderful person.
And Shipley, we just love you as our spiritual leader, and we love you.
You've ignited a ministry for me.
You've been a powerful presence in my life.
From the bottom of the valley to the very top of the mountain.
I trust in God.
You have been a shining light. You have been the light.
The word that always comes up to me, no matter where we've been in our journey together, is joy. You mean joy to me.
You're a wonderful spirit, and I love your spontaneity.
You've really taught me how, when we show up in our fullest, when we live our mission, that we create that beautiful ripple effect that you were talking about today.
Where I finally got it. I got Ho'oponopono. I can even say it. I got superconscious, subconscious, conscious. I can relate it to things even like the condor of Peru and the puma and the snake. My whole life has changed thanks to your teaching and your ministry. And most of all, I want you to know I love you.
Tear down the walls. It's time to fall into the arms of love. Open the gate. No time to wait. Surrender to the arms of love. Surrender to the arms of love. Tear down the wall. It's time to fall into the arms of love. Open the gate. No time to wait. Surrender to the arms of love. Surrender to the arms of love.
Abundant blessings on your journey, and I'll miss you deeply.
I'm forever grateful for your presence.
And I just want you to enjoy your life, and thank you. You're very loved.
Thank you, Shipley. We love you.
We thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
And I just thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you've taught me.
You will be greatly missed, and I appreciate you much. Blessings. Wish you the best. I'm going to miss you a lot.
So thank you, Shipley. I love you. I bless you. And I totally say thank you. Amen.
My dear, I love you very much, and have a blessed journey.
So I bless you, I love you, I appreciate you, and I am in awe of the Christ as you.
I can never thank her enough, and I just want to get my point across that I thank you, thank you, thank you.
So I love you with all my heart. Thank you for what you do and for who you are.
I shall hold you in my heart forever. Thank you, Shipley.
Bye, Ship. We love you.
I'm so eternally grateful. Love, love.
Blessings and love and energy for the next phase of your life.
I just want to thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I just want to thank you, Lord. For all you've done in my life. You took my darkness and gave me your light. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. You took my sin and my shame. You took my sickness and healed all my pain. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. With a grateful heart, with a song of want to thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I just want to thank you, Lord. One more time. Thank you, Lord. I just want to thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I just want to thank you, Lord. All right, let's take it out.
What does that say? I can't see it.
It says for nearly 2 decades.
For nearly 2 decades.
You have built unity on the river. We celebrate you. We recognize now that we are the ones you've been waiting for. Thank you, Shipley. Your legacy lives on.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Go light your world.
It's beautiful. So we have one other video creation, but it's not going to be shown today. Jay Bancroft has spent only about 259.6 hours putting together another gift for Shipley that he'd like to give her now. Thank you, Jay.
Shipley, thank you very much for all that you've done and what you've created here. You've given me a chance to experience all the blessings that Unity has to offer and so many other things. So what I've done is I've gone through all the streaming files. I've pulled every talk out, and I've put it on a 4-volume set. And this is the first volume of Shipley's Legacy Series, Volume 1. It has 20 of the talks that I've pulled together that I thought were really great throughout the years that we've been doing it. And we'll have Volume 2 coming very soon, and Volume 3 and 4, and then there's a bonus DVD too that we'll do. So here's your first volume set.
I love you.
Wow, that's amazing.
It looked like it was going to be such a success that people wanted to see more of it. So we're probably, if you're interested in this limited edition set that we're going to have, you can put your name in at the bookstore and give them your information, and then we'll let you know when it gets out, and we'll give you guys a chance to get it.
That is fabulous. Oh, Jay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. So I want to introduce one of the most talented performers that I have ever had the honor to work with and create services with, and also to coach. Leslie, I remember when I first began coaching you, way back probably 5-6 years ago, one of the things that I most said to and about you was, you are so talented, it ticks me off that you're not out there doing more in the world. And there you are, out shining your light, creating your fabulous production. And, you have just been such a blessing to this ministry. You did interim music director for a while. You've been singing in this ministry for as long as we've had it. And today you're here with even more of your talent with some of your favorite friends. So please join me in welcoming Leslie Smith.
You would have thought I would have thought of all this before. It was just such an exciting morning. I forgot about work and details. Surprise, surprise. Thank you, Jackie, for that introduction, because working with you was really life-changing, so thank you. And sit there comfortably, dear. I do want to thank you, Shipley, and I know I'm speaking for a lot of people here, for all the opportunities Shipley has given us. He always was willing to take a chance and allow us to do things sometimes that we really weren't ready for, and sometimes we weren't even very good at it. But she allowed that to happen, and that was incredibly powerful. So thank you. I wouldn't be the person I am today, and I know all of us sitting here wouldn't be the people that we are today without.
Go Shipley!
So now let's get silly. What would you bring in a box like this? Steve Chiguera said, "Is that your magic box? Are you the one who brought the magic box?" So I thought that I would just let you get a chance to meet someone who's been behind Shipley all this time. In the wings, you didn't see her, and Shipley, you didn't see her, because she was your guardian angel. I wanted to fix my hair. She rushed me. Oh, for heaven's sakes, how does it look? It looks okay. Oh, are you sure? Yes, you look fine. Mrs. Fiona Biddle. I can introduce myself. And I can do this, dear. Let me take over. We've had a lot of people talking today. We haven't had any guardian angels. Have we, Shipley? So, my friends, you must know about what it is to have a guardian angel. They look out for you. And mostly they make sure that the diamond is intact. Do you know diamond? Wait. No, dear, no. Aristotle, the acorn that becomes the tree. You all have one. And normally, we guardian angels make sure you reach the oak tree. Well, in Shipley's case, I was brought in kind of late on the job. I like to get them when they're babies. But they called me and they said, "We've got this little 7, 8-year-old girl, and she needs a guardian angel." And I said no. And then they said, "She really needs one." I should have known that was a red flag. But they said she's got the nicest family. Why, she lives in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area. And she's got this lovely father named, not yet, dear, Nicky. Is that how they trained you here? I'm in charge, dear. No, sweetheart, you're rushing ahead. I'll give her the cues for the slides. Good. Do something. So anyway, was I? There was this lovely family, Ned, the father, Louise, the mother. We called her Wheezy. And of course, there was Gail and Paige. And they were so nice and so respectable that I said, "Well, maybe I will." And then they showed me the photograph. Nicky. And she was like an angel. I looked at that little face and I said, "No." And they said, "She's going to go to an all-girls school." And I said, "Really? She'll be prim and proper."
And they said, yes. Well, we're even going to present her to society. She will be a debutante. And that's what I wanted more than anything. And then they said they're going to send her to a girls' boarding school when she gets to high school. She'll be a day student, but it'll be called the Shipley School. Why, she was a namesake. Oh, a late relative. Well, I said, okay, all right, I'll do it. Well, Fred, imagine my shock when she turned out to be a tomboy. She wasn't trim and proper. She was playing in the mud. And she played with her younger brother and his friends, and they were rowdy. Not at all a debutante. I was going to quit, but something about her deep excitement. That. How could you say no to that child? And she was so sweet and kind. Look at that face. I couldn't say no. And after all, she had an older sister that she looked up to. She obediently looked up to that older sister, and so I thought that's a good combination. So I took on that little tree-climbing, tree-hugger. And I tolerated those tomboy activities. And we learned how to trick her. We got her to pat a horse. And she'd do anything. She'd wash her face, clean her room. She'd do her studies. She'd do whatever you wanted as long as she got to pat a horse. So I whispered to Wheezy that we should take her to Mon ami le cheval. Mon ami le cheval. My good little horse in French. It was where her riding stable was. And Mrs. Pinch and Maudie were quite a couple. Who would have known that our Mary Shipley would be so competitive? At 8 years old, she's out jumping fences. Thick thorn, fearless, an athlete. And I said, she's a champion. And she could. And she took up ice skating too. And she could twirl with the best of them. And was she competitive? It wasn't enough to do the sport. She had to win. So, okay, I got sucked in. Who doesn't like to be with a winner? So I thought everything was going on delightfully until 7th grade. She turned into a rebel. Get out of the trash this minute! I'm trying to raise a sophisticated young lady. Things went to hell in a handbasket. Every day after school, she turned the house into a boys' playhouse. Now, I mean that in a nice way. But she was a boy magnet. A boy magnet? That's what I said, dear. She attracted the boys. The next thing I know, she's dyeing her hair blonde. And she's in high school and she's dating. And before long, it's debutante, presenting her to society. Nikki. And I remember one of those passionate boys. Do you remember the one, Shipley? The one you hijacked your family and took them out to Wyoming when that lovely boy, Donnie. You remember Donnie? He played Chopin on the piano. I'm afraid he was the first piano player, Curtis. There may have been more. Was that kind of a time in her life? But after Shipley went to school, went to Syracuse, and I lost complete control over her. She changed her name to Shipley. She was Mary Shipley, gentle and kind, and then she was strong Shipley. She used many Marys in the dorm. But I knew better, dear. And before you know it, she's getting married. A child bride. A young man named Peter. Is that a cigarette in your hand? Well, thank goodness she got back on track. I whispered healthy, clean food into her ear for 100 years. Finally, she's a macrobiotic, and she's gone back to her lovely brown locks. And before you know it, dears, she and Peter went their separate ways. Yes, he made some mistakes. Not the least of which, cooking meat in her cast iron skillet. That is an absolute no-no for a macrobiotic. Well, he had to go. And before long, she opened her own macrobiotic restaurant. Rising sun. Because she made her friends waitress. Didn't she, Rosemary? And it was lovely. And they sold their macrobiotic cakes and cookies in Boston. Who would buy those? Lots of people eat healthy. And then, my friends, she got married. Not. And she really settled down. And I was so happy during this time. Nikki? She was a happy girl. And you can see it, can't you? Either that or she's been drinking. Well, look at that family. Doesn't that look like the family Van Trotts? Of course, they're not in Vermont. The Van Trapps? Von Trop. Van Trapps. Van Trapps. I don't care, dear. They're in Pennsylvania. See yourself, Gail. Did Terry have to leave? Oh, dear. Terry, Gail's husband. Now, where's Paige and Betsy? Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, Maynard, you're here. Good for you. You stuck it out with the rest of us. And, oh, yes, Daryl. And Rory, don't leave me out. No, where was I? They soon had two beautiful children. Elizabeth, my God. And it was quite a household, and that's when Shipley discovered she could homeschool. It was a wonderful time. I think that's when I whispered Princess Diane into her ear. That looks the haircut that she did when she was in her Princess Diane phase. Well, life was an adventure. There was brown rice and dark leafy vegetables 3 times a day. There was no sugar for these kids. Green leafy vegetables 3 times a day to little kids. There was an occasional Brussels sprout. But it was pretty clean living, and they were very healthy. And there was figure skating and reading long stories at bedtime and child light. And who was that rainbow woman that used to come down and lead them all? Do you remember Elizabeth? Lynn Rainbow. That's it. She was doing Unity churches back then with the children and friends. But Shipley played every character when she read those stories. She was getting ready for Darth Vader. Eventually, Daryl went to public school. He just couldn't take her seriously as an authority figure during the middle years. But little Elizabeth sat dutifully at the school table in the kitchen, and Shipley would sew her skating costumes and sell them. She is so enterprising. But she ran, I would call it kind of a tight ship. Well, don't. But mostly some of the time, there were times she let her hair down. This wasn't the prim and proper girl that I tried to raise, that insisted on slits and dresses that covered shoulders when the family are around. Something had changed. The kids got off to school, public school, and it was time for Shipley to do something else, and you know the rest of the story. I don't have to tell about the Unity experience, do I? Kids grew up. Let's see a photo of them in case you didn't get to. Oh, Elizabeth, I do like your hair now. Although you look charming with the blonde, too. Here they are, grown up with Wheezy. And then Shipley, of course, you know, is living. They bought a property there. I'm very excited about the next chapter, Shipley. It's going to be good, dear. And Angel, I know we're going to have some fun. We're going to go on some horse rides, and I'd like to tour Europe if you could. And I've always wanted to go on a motorcycle, so I do hope we're going to be doing more of those things. But mostly I'm looking forward to the horse. Shipley knows how to do this thing. And she's fearless. And I want to remind you, Shipley, as your guardian, characteristics that you came in with, dear. You are returning to those in fullness of expression. And your rowdy, boy-crazy behavior. Let it rip!
That's great.
There's one more person that had to say something.
Yes, Sammy.
But you guys haven't seen him in a while. And that's... That was the other thing. They let me bring my stuffed toys to church. And actually get up here and share them. I thought, wow, she really is a risk taker. There you are, big guy. I haven't even seen him in a while. That's because you've been hiding. I know I have, but I'm back. And Shipley's, this is her retirement. No. This is
birthday party. Shipley's not very retiring. She doesn't get very tired. She gets really fired up. So this is her birthday party. And I want to celebrate her because she won the Triple Crown. You do 3 things on earth really good. You get a Triple Crown. Mommy and an angel. I was at Unity on the River School. Shipley had a lot of students. And every week after week, she bring a new lesson, and not all the kids were very good listeners. Some have ADD. So sometimes she had to repeat herself over and over and over and over. Okay, we get it. So she had an art class. Those that were confused and thought everything was against them. And she told all the kids that they had to take it, but not everybody listened. So she had to talk a lot about Jesus and the golden rule, and she liked to sing, Jesus loves us, for the Bible. And some of the kids that came here didn't get that this was a school. They didn't know she was the head teacher. They thought she was the mommy of a giant family, and they wanted to be adopted. So she adopted them. And the family got so large it was like a woman in the shoe. Shipley had to turn up the volume, and she made everybody sing at the top of their lungs. So they would know the family rules. I choose peace. I am peace. And we are always praying. How could anyone ever tell you that you're anything less than beautiful? We are brighter than the stars. And most of the family got. And some of the family left and went on journeys of their own, but most of the family come home as often as they can. And if they have to travel really it's hard. And the mommy of a really big family. So many shoes to tie, and so many meals to make, and heads to tat, and homework to check. She'd sneak away. And she got horses. And instead of galloping away like she might have wanted to, when the family was fighting and getting kind of naughty, and they wouldn't wake up. Round and round in circles, jumping really tall, scary fences. And that got her mind off of us. And she'd come back to Unity and put on her smiley, happy face. And start all over. Spirit, won't you know for the And that's when I think she became an angel. She never gave up. Being a good mommy, even when her children wouldn't grow up. But sometimes she's been disappointed. Angel with skin on her. Somewhere else, she misses us. She made the most beautiful home. An angel, she would say the magic prayers. They're not on this prayer. Please forgive me for creating this mess.
That's awesome.
I love you. And I love myself, and I forgive myself, and I forgive you. Amen. So now she gets to take and start a new school and get filled up. But when she's had too much fun and she's all folded up, she's come back. And she's got all the loves and hugs from all of us, and she can just watch us do the hard work. She's not giving up on us. She's coming back. So we for her. Yeah. So she can come and be a celebrity. We're the grown-ups now. And she just wants her family to stay together. I'm counting on all of you to bring some new friends, to and ourselves. I'm home for all the holidays. And always remember to sing. And she really likes piano. And the people that play it. Night has come. The moon is the only light we see. And the night has come, and the
Leslie Smith, everybody, give it up.
Amy, you're the best. Turn myself off. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. It's just crazy. Like, I'm a grown woman, you know, and I'm fairly intelligent. I have a master's degree in everything. I do. And I just sit over there like looking at that snail like it's real. Sammy is real. So good. All right, good. My intelligence is completely intact. All right, good. All right, Shipley's leaving. That's good. I told you to do that before the program. Wow. All right, so what's going to happen next? We've got another person who's going to come and address Shipley, but obviously I need to kill a little time right now. And then we're going to do some popcorn shares, and that means that you all have the opportunity to raise your hand and say a few words to our beloved Shipley. Let me see what else. Yeah, and then we're going to give her a gift, a really, really cool gift. So you don't want to miss that. And then I'm just killing time up here. Be with me, okay? And yeah, and then Shipley's going to do her farewell talk, and then we're going to bless her. So there's just a few more things that's going on. Sometimes when she gets nervous, she feels like she's going to puke, so I'm not sure if that's what's happening. Yeah, or it's that raging introvert thing, and she's really had enough of us. Yeah, it could be that. I'm not really sure. But yeah, but we're here. Oh, so let's talk about what's going to happen next, since Shipley's not here and I still need to talk to you all. I feel a little silly. I could like tell you my troubles, but then I'd have to pay you all. So next week at 10 a.m., there'll be services here at Unity on the River. How many of you are going to be here? Excellent. It's day one of the post-Shipley era. Yeah, and I'm really excited about it. And yours truly will be leading services next Sunday. Thank you.
Go, Jackie. All right.
Thank you, Maura. So I am looking forward to that and continuing to lead and guide us in the post-Shipley era. And then the week after that, Michael Mirdad will be here for 10 days, I believe, or a week or 10 days. So he will be doing services on Sunday, on Wednesday, and Thursday. So, please be here for that. And then just to continue to fill in, because I have no idea where she is. Can you go see where your mother is? Never mind. Oh, what? Oh, Denise. Oh, yeah. And then Denise DeSimone is speaking after Michael Mirdad. It's fabulous. Yes, Leslie? So there's a lot going on here at Unity on the River. So about 5 years ago, the Association for Unity Ministries at that time, now called Unity Worldwide Ministries, decided that they wanted to really support ministers in knowing how to grow their ministries and how to create solid ministries. And honestly, I have no idea why Shipley applied for it, because she's one of the best ministers I've ever seen. But she applied to be part of this pilot project, and Unity on the River was chosen to be part of a 3-year pilot study program called the Transformation Experience. And we were blessed with the leader of that program being assigned as our lead consultant. And Cindy Swall is an organizational consultant, an executive coach, a spiritual teacher. She does a lot of work in the Unity movement, and she led that 3-year pilot project for the Association of Unity Churches at the time. And it was a mutual love affair, I would say. Cindy came here, and we fell in love with her and her leadership and her clarity, and she fell in love with this congregation. So she flew in this weekend from Kansas City and wanted to address Shipley. Cindy?
You know, I can honestly say with full conviction in my heart that I have never, ever, ever had a snail make me cry in my life. Ever. So this community is just a series of firsts for me. You know, Jackie mentioned that I was in charge of the whole TE experience, and so as a result of that, one of the real coups of that is that I got to pick what church I could be a consultant guide for. And so I initially started doing a ton of research of all of the different pilot ministries that were ready to step into this experience. And I have to say, you know, because Jackie mentioned, you know, we know that Shipley was already a really powerful, really wonderful minister. And I will tell you, the transformation experience was designed only to be successful if you've already got a solid leadership in place, because otherwise, you know what the cultural shifts took place there. Oh my gosh, many of you were here with us during that process. So when I started researching the churches and I read Shipley's story of transformation, of personal transformation, and I thought, you know, the more I read about that, and then I had conversations with her and with Jackie, and what I came to realize is that, first of all, this is a woman that I have to know. I got to know this woman because that is an amazing, amazing story. And secondly, what I also know is that she made the decision, along with the board, to bring me in to do this cultural shift because she knew that she had to prepare for this day, right? And so it's not about creating a better minister. It's about creating a community-centric model that can self-sustain. And you have done that. Together, you have done that. You have done that, right? And you all just showed up for that experience. It was an amazing thing to watch. So as I started reading about your reluctant Messiah, and the story there, it honestly made me think of the Fillmores way back at the beginning of time. So Charles and Myrtle Fillmore were actually the founders of the Unity Movement well over 100 years ago. And they were based, by the way, in Kansas City, which is where I live. But they weren't interested in starting a movement, right? They just wanted to heal. They just wanted to figure out what their own personal faiths were. And that's really where Shipley started her mission as well. And so, but once you have that much passion and that much conviction about anything, it's impossible for people to not look at you and go, I'll have what she's having, right? Whatever it is, I want to be a part of it. And so she became an influencer whether she wanted to be or not. And so as a result of that, and so here we are decades after the Fillmores have made the decision to leave the planet, right? And all of us here in this room are a testament to the fact that they were once here, right? They were once here. So what I see with Shipley is that the people in this room and all of you that you touch are the legacy that Shipley leaves for us, right? And so it's not a matter of we've got this minister and then we don't. It's like she has created a foundation for us like no other that have ever come before her. And so we have something that we can build on, and we have the transformation, and we have a community that has stepped up in ways that I personally have seen are crazy powerful. So I mentioned that the Fillmores were from Kansas City. And Kansas City, I may have told some of you this story before, but Kansas City was known back during the gold rush days, right? When there was gold in them there hills of California, our California people that are here. That was the big deal, right? So Kansas City is right at the end of the Santa Fe, California, Oregon Trail where they merged together. And so Kansas City was the last stop before you moved into really what we would consider the Badlands, right? Where there's really nothing. There's still really nothing between Kansas and Cal. There's not a whole lot going on between, for about 8, 10, 12 hours in there. So during that period of time, what would happen is people would get as far as Kansas City and they would look at the dangers that are ahead of them. The plight and the drought and, this was Native American territory, so that was all unknown. There were so many things that were going on that were considered very, very risky to move forward. So a lot of people would get as far as Kansas City and they would just go, I'm good. This is a nice town. So they would homestead in Kansas City, right? And it always made me wonder, and it always makes me think of Shipley and her vision into the unknown, is that, what characteristics does a person have to have in order to make the decision to leave the familiar, what you know to already be true, and then venture into an area that's already been deemed by others to be very high risk, to say, you know what, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know what I'm going to need, but I'm willing to step forward in faith. And those are the people that got very, very wealthy, right? And so what Shipley knows is that when you take that leap forward in faith, you become very, very wealthy, right? when I look at those pictures, I was watching those series of slides go through during the videos, and I just think, oh my gosh, that is a testament to a life well lived, is it not?
Yes.
What else can you ask for? You know what? I feel like I'm doing your eulogy. It's like, oh, she was so young. Shipley. Sorry. So anyway, I just want a couple more minutes just to wrap up with a story. When I travel a lot with my work, and so one time I was stuck in Denver International Airport. My daughter was about 3.5 years old at the time. And my flight had been delayed, because that's what you do at Denver International Airport. And so I waited. It's a like 3-4 hour delay, and the weather was really bad. And so anyway, I decided to call my daughter and just listen to my baby's voice. So I call her on the phone and I say, you know, hey, it's Mommy, what are you doing? She's like, hi, Mama, are you having fun? And so I said in my most grown-up whiny voice, no, my airplane is late, honey, and I'm kind of bored. And she goes, you should color. And I said, and you know, I kind of laughed, ha ha ha. And then I was like, I should totally color. I mean, do you remember that? I mean, it's like the most meditative thing you can do in the world, right? So you should color. So I went into with a little Hudson News there, you know, and I bought crayons and a color book, and I sat there and I started coloring. And you could see people were walking by me, and they're looking at me like I have a horn growing out of my forehead. What are you doing in this airport? And so, and then eventually a woman came and she sat down next to me. And she started talking to me about coloring. And so I handed her a coloring sheet and some crayons. So now they're coloring together. And within about 30 or 40 minutes, like in the entire gate 16 terminal, B16, was all coloring. And so you can see people are going by and going like, what is going on? It's like happy hour at B16, right? So what I wanted to share with you, Shipley, and I'm going to come over here with you. Come here. Is that on those days when you wake up and your car wants to drive here, or you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do today with my day, I brought you a gift that I want to share with you. As soon as I open it, no, check this out. Wonder Woman, right there. Woman. So I expect you to start right there, and then put that on your refrigerator when you're done. Oh, lots of colors. You got you some pencils and some crayons, and this one says my artwork. So this is like a blank page. So she starts to create the picture of your next wonderful adventure. Hey, look, fun in the sun, it says. And this is the first that we've had sun, so you can actually do that. So anyway, I just wanted to share this with you so that whenever you color.
Thank you, Cindy. So this is the time that you've all been waiting for. Jane, if you could grab another microphone. Is there a microphone in the sound booth? So, you know, every week at the Unity services, when we have church, after the offertory, we have this portion of our service that's called What Unity Means to Me. And that's your opportunity to shine and to do a little testimonial about what unity means to me. So today, for Shipley's farewell service, we didn't do that, but we thought for the gathering here, we would have the opportunity for each of you to share what Shipley means to me. So we're going to take just a few people, and of course, as always, 1 minute or less. That's the rules, right? You don't have to be a member. You don't have to add anything else. You don't have to ask ahead of time. But 1 minute or less, what Shipley means to me. Who would like to share? Nancy, we'll start over here. Oh, you're going to go? And who's after Nancy? Wayne? Who's after Wayne? Great. John. Okay. I'll stop there because I'll forget. I'm over 50.
I can remember some energy generated to take a trip to Peru, and it fell through, and how disappointed we all were. But then the energy recharged, and we did it, and it was an awesome spiritual experience to take our culture into another culture and to learn the divinity in all humanity, and to see the joy on the members' faces that were there, and the Native people. And it just is a testament to our church. And I think going forward, I would like to see those kinds of trips occur again. Because they just very solidified our spirituality individually and as a group.
That's great, Nancy. Be sure you organize one, okay?
So coming to Unity, we've had plenty of education, a lot of books that we all experience and read, and the words kind of enlighten our hearts and expand our minds, and then we get beyond the veil of shadows. A couple of the books that we've read, of course, have influenced me, and most recently, I read Grace Awakening Essence. And in it was a sentence that really kind of woke me up as to what my experience of coming to Unity and being taught by Shipley said to me. And it is more or less, we are the second coming. To me, that was very powerful, because growing up as a kid through the hippie days, there was always somebody standing on a street corner with the hand of God is that hand, near at hand and everything. It didn't mean anything until coming here. And it all started to solidify, and now I feel like we are responsible to go out. It's our responsibility to go amongst the people that we work with, our children, their friends, and light the seed that's in them.
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you. John Davey. John Davey. John Davey, Jane. John Davey. And then Denise DeSimone, and then we're probably going, oh my gosh, I knew this was going to happen. Go ahead, John.
Yes.
Keep it, John, really, really brief, because a lot of people have their hands up.
I first came to Unity way back in 1999. And the church was small. We only had the fellowship area. That was the whole church. And I met Shipley, and it was a magnet. I kept coming back and coming back. And over the years, I've grown in spirituality and in knowledge and in many, many ways, and I can attribute a lot to Shipley. She and I have become really close friends, as well as my spiritual leader. She has been my encouragement in many, many ways, and I love her.
Shipley, I walked into a Unity church in 1985 in Nashville, Tennessee, and I cried for a week. And I came back home and I could not find a Unity church. And then in 1997, I believe, or 96, I saw a little Post-it note in the Richdale of a Unity prayer group. And I started to come, and I was one of the first ones that went to Masonic Temple with you. And it's been a great ride. And in 2005, when I faced the biggest challenge in my life, had you not created this, I don't know that I'd be alive today. Because the people that you call to you, all these angels, held a high watch for not just me, but so many people that face challenges. And I really don't know if I'd be alive today. So I really thank you. I love you so much. And thank you all.
So many of you know that at the first of the year, we have a burning bowl ceremony, and we're given this little piece of tissue paper to write everything we want to let go of. And there was a time that this one particular Sunday, I thought, you know what, this sheet is not going to do. So I went and got some toilet paper to write my list on. And I don't want you to go away without a roll of toilet paper, because I'm sure your list is long.
Jay in the back. Jay, did you say? Yeah.
Shipley, I just want to again thank you so much for getting this place going to the level that it's at, and its sustainability now is going to be able to just foster so much more growth in the community, and it's going to grow and grow and grow from this point on. And I'm just so thankful that I'm part of it. And thank you, really, from all of me.
Thank you to you for getting us streaming.
I just want to say thank you for being able to grow up here. I was 13 when I started coming, and what 13-year-old wants to get up on a Sunday morning? You actually made it worth it, and I found a place here, and now I work here, and it's just my home. Thank you.
I heard you speak at the WISE conference, and you were so amazingly open and authentic and true and real about your own life experience, and it brought me here. And I thank you so much for inviting me to be part of the creation team and for letting us build that beautiful nature shrine out in the back. And I am so thankful for you. Thank you.
So if the board and staff could go get Shipley's gift, please. If the board and staff could go get Shipley's gift, and I'm just going to have a couple more while they're going to do their job. That makes me feel really powerful. I said something, and there's all these people just started going over there. I know, I'll get over there if I can, honey. No promises, okay? Isn't that cool? Wow.
Shipley. I was one of the few that, well, in the beginning we had Masonic services at the Masonic Lodge, which I found out about at a private in Maine. Once I went to a service, it was like nothing. So it spoke to me deeply, and I remember many times being in the back with the box of Kleenex, just letting it all go, and you allowed us to have that, to be individuals and allow that safe space. I did go to New York post 9/11. Luckily, I found a Unity Church there in New York City, but I pined every single day for my home here with all of you. I was grateful to have Unity. It was a great support system, but it wasn't like home. And when I finally came back in 2004, this is where I came back again. So thank you.
So actually I was wrong. It's the staff and congregants who are bringing in the gifts. So Jane, are you guys ready? So I just want to say a couple of words about the gift from that's coming in. So it's another horse, yeah. So Steve and Rosemary Smith are bringing in part of the gift, and Jim McQuaid. They are representing the congregation. So the gift that's coming forth, there's a gift here from the staff, and there is a gift from you, our beloved congregation. And I asked Steve and Rosemary and Jim to make that presentation, and the staff also will present Shipley with their gift. I'm not sure who's going to be speaking for this. Is it the staff first? Carol first? Okay. So the gift from the staff.
Where's Shipley? There she is. Okay. This is from the staff. And I have to tell you, we didn't have any horse sense when it came to buying a horse blanket. So this one here is waterproof. This is the blanket, you see, but we're going to unveil something else. Yes, it's a turnout. It's waterproof, and the inside lining will polish your horse so that it glows. That's what the ad said. It will polish your horse so that it will shine. It's going to glow from the polishing of the lining. We're turning her out, yes. The other thing is, it is a beloved blanket, they said, and it's a Baker plaid. Have you heard of Baker plaid? Oh, good. But we just want you to know, you may exchange it if it doesn't fit. Yeah, it's a medium. I didn't know there were sizes. Okay, and we just have a little blessing from the staff for you. Okay. From the first hello to the last goodbye, it's been awfully nice to know you, so excuse the parting sigh. And we'll watch you go with our heads held high. You've been dear and sweet, an angel to meet, a treat. From the first hello to the last goodbye. We love you, Shipley.
Namaste.
Namaste, Steve.
You know, it was interesting when Carol asked me and Rosemary if we would present our community gift to Shipley. And the only thing that I could think of was that I didn't have any jeans and I don't have any cowboy boots. So you'll just have to kind of envision me in my cowboy uniform. So there's a couple things that I would like Shipley to know. And first of all, this is your gift from our entire community here at Unity on the River. And, you know, when I started to think about a few words I might say, I kind of got in my mind that my theme would be homes and horses. So when I thought about homes, I was thinking about our spiritual home here at Unity on the River and what it's meant to all of us. You have given us such a wonderful spiritual home. You have sheltered us. You have nourished us. You have given us your spontaneity and your humor. You've loved us, and you've led us for 20 years. And you've also given us many pastures at Unity on the River to roam in. And as we've roamed, we've grazed, and we've all grown here at Unity on the River. Now, on occasion, we have become stray, or we've wandered in the wilderness. But Shipley has very blessedly and quietly and in her soft-hearted way been able to rope us in and bring us back to the corral. Now, as we've aged in this environment, you were always there, spurring us on. And witnessing and celebrating the presence in each one of us here at Unity on the River. And as we've grown, discovered, and enhanced our own divinity, both here and in the greater community. So as we present this gift to you, I think I just lost my train of thought. But that's okay. So you've created a wonderful spiritual home here at Unity on the River for us. And we thought we would like to make our mark and help identify your new home at the Sunny Spirit Farm. So here's your new gift and your new signage for your home. So, we kind of envision you, you know, after you've groomed Liesel. And when I went to say that we wanted to properly identify your farm, we wanted to identify your farm for you and for Liesel and all your 2- and 4-legged friends. So, you know, we kind of envision you after grooming your horse and cleaning the stall and getting all the food ready and taking care of all the farm duties, sitting down on a bale of hay, you know, with your pitchfork in hand, and, you know, you might gaze up and see the sign. Because the substance of the sign for us represents your courage, your commitment, your vision and your undaunting spirit to hold the high watch for this community for 20 years. And also, the rays of sunshine around Liesel and other horses represents us. It represents our presence. It represents our light shining down upon Shipley and offering her all our love, support, and encouragement for whatever is her next to do. So, before you giddy up out of here, right, we just want you to know from the bottom of our hearts that this signage represents our love for you. Please accept it, enjoy it, and know that we are always near.
So just have a couple more things that we're going to do. Stephen Rosemary, thank you. Jim McQuaid, thank you. Carol Walrazak and your husband Eric, thank you for getting that sign here. That was lovely. So when I asked Shipley if there was anything that she needed to be released of or to let go of, any remorse or regrets that she might have had before she completes her time here with us, she, in her ever-loving, unconditionally loving way, said there were only two things that she thought about or worried about. And to me, they spoke so deeply of who you are, Shipley, as a person. And I know you're done, by the way. I know. We're almost there, honey. So there are two things that I want to share with you, and then I'll invite you to affirm this for Shipley. So the two things were, Elizabeth and Daryl, that your mom became a minister when you were both teenagers. And she, not worried, but she felt deeply in her heart the holy sacrifice that she made and that perhaps cost you some of your mother when you were still younger, because as has been said here many times today, she went full on into everything that she did. You as her children know that deeply, being homeschooled and being followed after and being doted on the way that your mom has attended to you. So we, her congregation, thank you for what you've given to us in sharing your mother with us. And the other thing that she said is that she wished that she was more confident so that she could have been more present with each and every one of us. So Shipley, on behalf of this congregation and every congregation that you've served for the past 20 years, I want to affirm for you, you always have been and are enough. You were more than enough for us. You were more than enough to build and honor and love and nourish and cultivate this ministry. And as you leave us, as we release you from your responsibilities for taking care of this ministry, please go forth from here knowing forevermore that you were and always are enough for us. So you may wonder what Shipley's up to next. So does she. Hey, Mickey, you've got some, you want to go back? I think you've got some slides up there. Oh, there we go. So I thought if Shipley needed some ideas, I thought I was going to send her off with some ideas of what's next. So if we can't wait to hear another talk from Shipley, maybe this is what she should do next. They're here, the Shipley ebooks. Click to learn more. Next one, let me see. Oh, and if that's not deep and detailed enough, we could always have the Shipley e-news. Courage for the deed, grace for the doing. And well, I don't know, if you ever need to learn how to do your own personal Yoda voice, or a good Irish brogue, yes, there's the Shipley Acting TV Film Theater Workshop, and we would all love to attend that. And if anything else fails with her background in food service, there's always the greatest name in dough nuts. But more than anything, Shipley, I think there's one more, Mick, with the door on it. What you need to know as you leave us riding off into the sunset with your beautiful horse is there's always a home for you here with us at Unity on the River. So I invite you to say your closing remarks, your last time to address the congregation as our founding minister, the Reverend Shipley Allenson.
No pressure. No pressure. None whatsoever.
Boy. I seem to be in a zone here. Like this zone, maybe over this zone. Oh, okay. This is the part I'm not very good at. Just receiving all of this is very overwhelming. And I'm taking it in to the best of my ability. I love you so much, and I feel like I had said a lot about my gratitude, although I missed some of it, but I really wanted to say what I was going to miss the most. And mostly what I'm going to miss is community. All of you. Do you know what you've created here? Do you have any idea what a magnificent community this is? The way you love each other, the way you support each other, the way you pray for each other, the way you call each other, the way you hold each other in light, the way you visit each other, the way you see each other. It is so vitally important for anybody's personal health to have a community. And you've created it, and you've come here and served each other and seen the Christ in each other. And that just makes me the happiest person in the world, and I don't know where I'm going to go to find anything like that. You know, when you come together, the people that are serving on Sunday morning and we have a prayer circle here, that's the happiest part of the service to me, because I see everybody who's in service here and how we're creating community together and how we're working together, and it's just phenomenal. And then when we have a service, when we have any kind of activity, like a workshop, or when you come together to clean up the outside or the inside or to paint, and there's a whole group of you, and you're coming because this is your community, and you want it to thrive, and you want it to be blessed. That's what makes my heart sing, the sense of community. And when we come together in Om, oh boy, when you feel the vibration and the resonant field. You know, when you're in this room, as I said earlier, when that geomantic study did, we discovered that this was a spiritual bubble that we've created together, a safe place for people to grow and find out who they are. That's because of all of you. You've done that. I honor you. I see you. I behold the Christ in you, and I will hold you in my heart always, always, always. And I did want to tell you a little bit what I'm going to be doing. Sunny Spirit Farm, the name comes from the idea that I had a horse named Sunny. I'm sure most of you heard about Sunny. And he was a thoroughbred, and he was crazy and pretty wild. But when he was 20, he was no longer sound, and so I put him into retirement, and I sent him down to Virginia. And that year it was worse weather down in Virginia than it was up here, and he colicked, and I couldn't be there for him, and I had to put him down. And it was one of the hardest experiences of my life. My sister was there with me. So I wanted to do something to honor Sunny. And so Sunny Spirit Farm will be a place where I will have a rescue, and I will rescue thoroughbreds periodically to, when they don't have a home, or I can maybe prepare them for a new home, and that would be in honor of Sunny. And I hope to... What I don't know if this is going to happen, what I'm really going to do first is nothing. But in time, what has seemed to be calling is to do work with horses, with groups. And some people call it equine assisted learning. I might have told some of you about it. And the horses are so empathic that when people are in their energy field, they get the reflection back about who they are. And I've thought of doing the art and practice with horses, because horses are so reflective of where people are. So that's something that and Jackie I have 2 books. I have titles. The Metaphysics of the Mustang is the first. All my lessons I've learned from my horses. And the other one, I want to go back to Israel. And I want to go back to Israel because there's 12 gates into the city, and we have 12 spiritual powers from Charles Fillmore, and I want to bring that all together. So that is one of my dreams and one of my visions. That's all I got so far. All right. So is this the time when we move into the ceremony?
Yeah, well, should turn myself on. I was going to invite the congregation to do a blessing for you.
Oh, lovely.
Shipley.
Thank you.
So, are you complete?
Yes.
So, let's just take a moment. No,
Where would you like me?
Kinda,
I'm in that zone
So, if you're
again.
comfortable doing so, I invite you to dance with Shipley. This is great. This is just great. So I invite you to, if you're comfortable doing so, to just close your eyes for a minute. Let's take a moment to experience the presence of God, who understands the goodbye that we're experiencing. Feel the energy in this place that Shipley has worked so hard with her love and her energy and her commitment to create. We know that, sweet Spirit, you are here, and we welcome and embody your holy presence. Ushering in the words of Khalil Gibran from the prophet, "Love knows not its own depth until the hour of separation." The hour of separation is upon us, our physical separation, and yet we know and affirm that we are one, that we've always been one in the mind of God. We know that unity on the river existed in the mind of God before Shipley ever came to this earth. She came into this world to be the midwife of the soul of this ministry, and her job is now complete. May the love that is in our hearts as a congregation unite us forever. And may the power of your presence, dear Lord, bless Shipley as she releases her duties as founding minister of Unity on the River. Shipley, as you journey forward, may you always remember that our love is with you, that you are surrounded by the hearts of this congregation and those for the past 20 years. We thank you, God, for this journey of this beloved one. We entrust her to your loving care, knowing that you are always the faithful traveler and companion. May her future be blessed with love and with the many blessings that she has given us here for so many years. If you join me now together in extending your hands toward Shipley. And just repeat after me. Shipley, we love you. We love you. We love you. We love you. We bless you. We bless you. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. And Shipley, we behold the Christ as you. And Shipley, we behold the Christ as you. God bless you.
Oh, I do my thing. I really need to be helped here. Yeah, thank you. First I have to blow my nose. Thank you.
Choir, come on up.
All right. So we are going to have a closing ceremony. We're going to be using the music, Go Light Your World. When a Unity minister leaves a ministry, the ministry goes under the guidance and direction of the Board of Trustees and the staff, but primarily the Board of Trustees to make the decisions and oversee the operations of the center. And the main responsibility of that goes to the board president. So I would love all of your hearts to be with me for a moment and to ask your affirmation for your love and support of this beautiful staff over here including some of the board members, of the Board of Trustees, and especially of Jackie Woodside, she is in her 8th year of board president of Unity on the River. Really. Jackie has held this community way, way, way beyond the call of duty. Do you know that now she is probably serving about 40 hours a week for this as a volunteer? Because she loves us and she wants us not only to thrive but to survive. So she is holding the high watch. She's part of the transition. She's helping to look for ministers. She's working with all the staff. She's working with me. Just endless, endless giving. A hugely, hugely generous individual. And throughout these years, she has been a personal friend to me and a personal coach and mentor. She, like no one else, has spoken me into existence. She said the first day she came, she saw me and she said, "I like her and she needs help." Something like that. And so she got herself on the board. And boy, she's helped me with energy management. She's helped me with all aspects of my life. And I'm just so grateful. So what I'm going to be doing, Jackie will have the support of Cindy Swall. So Cindy Swall, would you come up here also? Thank you. I'm going to take a candle and I'm going to light it. And I'm going to light Jackie's candle and she's going to light Cindy and Jane Cowan. Jane, would you come up here, our Director of Operations? I need a candle first. Thank you. And then Cindy and Jane are going to light the candles of all the board and the staff. And then the board and the staff are going to walk up and down the aisles. And you are to turn your unlit candle to the lit candle. Remember Christmas Eve? Unlit candle to lit candle. And then up again. And we're going to be doing this while we are singing Go Light Your World. So to begin it, I'm going to light my candle. Maura, if you would just do a little noodling in the background, that would be great in order to begin. Woohoo!
The table's going to hold that up.
Jackie Woodside's mission statement, for the first line says that she is a torchbearer for the transformation.
Torchbearer for a vision of a world transformed.
For a vision of a world transformed. So I bought her a torch, and I'm going to light her torch. And oh, no, I'm not. I'm trying to light her torch. Torchbearer for a world transformed. Jackie Woodside, as I give you this torch, please take this in remembrance of me. And whenever you light this torch, know that my light is with you. And I am supporting you.
There is a candle in every soul, some brightly burning, some dark and cold. There is a spirit who brings a fire, ignites a candle, and makes his home. So carry a candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle for light your world. Take your candle your world. Frustrated brother, see how he's trying to light his own candle some other way. See now your sister, she's been robbed and lied to, still holds a candle without a flame. To carry a candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see. Take your candle, go light your world. Take your candle, go light your world. We are a family whose hearts are blazing. So let's raise our candle, light up the sky. Pray to our Father in the name of Spirit. Make us a beacon in the darkest time. So carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle, go light your world. Take your candle, go light your world.
You are the light of the world. Let your light so shine before men and women that they might see your good works and glorify your Father, Mother, God, who is in heaven. I love you all.
To carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle, go light your world. Take your candle and go light your world.
We are Unity on the River, and I will see you all next Sunday. God bless you.
All right, you got it, honey. If you ever need anything.